Okay, so how's everybody doing? It's an Bro with the first video of the channel starting up whenever I feel like it. I'm not known for anything yet, so I don't really need a schedule. Okay, so anyways, today we will be discussing the Sho Hokage, or first for you non-weeaboos. Anyway, I decided that since this is the first video, I might as well discuss the first pinnacle of power in the Hidden Leaf Village, and his name is Mito Uzumaki. No, that's just his wife. All jokes aside, the first Hokage, Hashirama Senju, was born during a time period known as the Warring States period. In actuality, this was based off of a real-life period where it was an era in ancient Chinese history following the Spring and Autumn period and concluding with the Qin Wars of Conquest. But that's not something I plan to get into in this video. During the Warring States period, the countries of the world were uniformly small, constantly battling each other for land, power, and opportunity. Everyone was at war, and the clan's loyalties always went to whoever owned the most money. The constant warfare in turn led to constant death, creating an average lifespan of only 30 years. Children were the greatest victims of this era, forced to fight for their clan no differently than an adult would, and, more often than not, being killed by older and more skilled opponents. In an attempt to avoid conflict caused by the ever-changing alliances and resulting vendettas, shinobi were in the habit of never divulging their family names to strangers. Hashirama was born as the eldest of Butsuma Senju's 4 sons and the brother of Tobirama Senju, Itama, and Kawarama. During his infrequent downtime, Hashirama met a boy his own age named Madara. The two quickly developed a friendly rivalry, be it skipping stones or urinating in rivers, with Hashirama typically winning their contests. Hashirama did not approve of this practice of sending children to fight and die, believing it would only increase the bitterness between the Senju and the Uchiha, causing only more deaths. Both Kawarama and Itama died during this period, and this cemented both Hashirama and Tobirama's will to end this vicious cycle and envisioned a world without child death, constant war, and flaws that this era possessed. To do that, however, an alliance between the Uchiha and Senju was needed. Madara was a man who had by this point already lost brothers on the battlefield as well, and while I'm not sure how many he had, as the only one heavily focused on was Izuna, he had at least one other to lose by this point. Despite the aforementioned custom of not divulging family names to strangers, Hashirama and Madara eventually found out each other's status as an Uchiha and a Senju, respectively. Hashirama and Madara would continue to meet as enemies on the battlefield, with both becoming leaders of their own clans. During these infrequent fights, neither would be able to kill the other, as Hashirama could not kill someone who he still viewed as a friend, and Madara could not best Hashirama's superior abilities in wood release, one of the most powerful and unique Kekkei Genkai of the series. In time, both Hashirama and Madara became leaders of their respective clans. Under Madara's leadership, the Uchiha grew, and under Hashirama's leadership and extraordinary prowess, the Senju began to best the Uchiha, until at one point Hashirama had both Madara and his brother Izuna at his mercy. However, unable to find resolve to kill his childhood friend, Hashirama tried to convince Madara to unite their two clans to make their dreams a reality. A mortally wounded Izuna convinced him otherwise, and they retreated, prompting Hashirama to send a ceasefire request. Although some Uchiha found the offer extremely tempting, Madara was unwilling to accept it after Tobirama had killed his last remaining brother, Izuna. Racked with grief, Madara made one final stand against Hashirama and the Senju and was defeated. Tobirama attempted to kill him to finally end the fighting, but Hashirama stopped him, knowing that it would only renew hostilities between the Senju and the Uchiha. At Madara's suggestion, Hashirama offered to kill himself in order to achieve a peaceful resolution. As he was about to end his own life, Madara stopped him, moved by the gesture, and assented to peace. The Senju, the Uchiha, and all of their connected clans came together to found a village of peace, where children would never need to die in battle. Madara and Hashirama, rekindling their childhood friendship, called that village Konohagakure, or the Hidden Leaf Village. The other countries would soon follow Konohagakure's example and build their own hidden villages. Although Hashirama created much of the village's infrastructure with his word-release abilities, it was his wish that Madara become Hokage, the village's leader and protector. At Tobirama's insistence, the Hokage position was opened up to a vote by Konoha's villagers, and it was Hashirama that they elected into office. Hashirama wanted Madara to become his advisor so that he could improve his standing among the villagers and someday succeed him as second Hokage, while Madara felt that this position would inevitably go to Tobirama, which in turn would end badly for the Uchiha. With his position in the Hidden Leaf rapidly diminishing, Madara decided that the village was a failed experiment and abandoned it, intent on returning to face Hashirama in battle yet again. True to his promise, Madara eventually attacked the Hidden Leaf on multiple occasions. After countless fights and with the Nine Tails under his control, Madara challenged Hashirama to one final conquest. The Nine Tails' power, as well as Hashirama's efforts to capture and contain it, devastated the landscape, carving out what would later be called the Valley of the End. Hashirama spent the duration of their battle trying to reason with Madara, but Madara continued fighting until he was too tired to keep even the base Sharingan active. This enabled Hashirama to distract him with a wood clone while the real Hashirama stabbed him in the back. Madara collapsed and, before dying, noted how much Hashirama had changed from back when they were children. For a while, everything Hashirama had wanted had seemed to come true, but later on, the peace Hashirama had worked so hard for was starting to unravel. At some point, the Hidden Waterfall, or Takigakure, sent Kakazu to assassinate him. Although he defeated Kakazu, other wars began to break out, and it was during the First Shinobi World War that Hashirama, eager to form a lasting peace with other villages, convened the Kage Summit so that he could share the tailed beast between the Hidden Leaf and other villages, thus balancing power among them. But cooperation would not be as simple as Hashirama wanted it to be. First by Tobirama's demand that the other villages pay for the tailed beasts they receive, then by the first Kage's counter-request of money and territory in lieu of a tailed beast. As unrest began to grow, Hashirama shared his fear that any agreement they made would only be temporary, but also his hope that future generations could form a lasting unity.